Listen up, because I'm about to say something that's going to hit home for you. There's a version of you that's weak, that's scared, that's comfortable, and that version of you is holding you back. You look in a mirror and see someone who's not reaching their potential, someone who's letting life pass by. Well, I'm here to tell you right now, it's time to kill that version of you. I'm not talking about violence. I'm talking about killing the doubt, the fear, the procrastination, and all the excuses. The weak version of you has had its time. It's done. Now it's time to rebuild. It's time to tap into that fire inside of you. It's time to go harder, push further, and break through every limit you've ever set for yourself. You have the power, the strength, and the ability to become something greater than you've ever imagined. But you've got to want it. You've got to fight for it. So let's get to work. Let's rebuild. Let's kill the weak version of you and let's build the strongest version that's ever walked this earth. V growth doesn't happen when we stay comfortable. It's as simple as that. The moment you become comfortable with where you are, you stop progressing. If you want to get to the next level in life, whether it's in your career, your relationships, your health, or your mindset, you have to learn to embrace discomfort. Discomfort is a signal that you're pushing past your limits, and that's exactly where growth happens. If you're not uncomfortable, you're not growing. Think about any major achievement in life. Was it easy? Did it come without struggles or setbacks? The answer is no. Achievements come from overcoming challenges. They come from having to face discomfort and saying, I'm willing to go through this because I know on the other side I'll be better, stronger, and more capable. Comfort zones are like chains. They keep you stuck. They're familiar. They feel safe, but they won't allow you to break through to the next phase of your life. We're all guilty of wanting to avoid discomfort. It's human nature to avoid pain or difficulty. But the reality is the pain of staying stagnant will eventually outweigh the pain of change. If you keep doing the same things, living the same way, thinking the same thoughts, you'll stay exactly where you are. And in the long run, that's a much bigger price to pay than the temporary discomfort that comes with trying something new, learning a new skill, or pushing yourself to work hard. If you want to build something great, you have to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. You have to be willing to take risks, to fail, to get up after you fall, and to keep going even when it feels like everything is working against you. You can't grow without discomfort, and every challenge you face is an opportunity to rise above. The tough times, they're the times that shape you. They teach you resilience, perseverance, and determination. They teach you that you can do things you never thought you could do, and that's where true growth happens. Look at athletes, for instance. They're constantly pushing themselves beyond their limits, testing their endurance, strength, and mental toughness. They don't wake up and just perform at a high level. They push their bodies past their comfort zones every single day. They run harder, lift heavier, and train longer than they feel capable of. It's uncomfortable, it's exhausting. But they know that in order to get stronger, they have to embrace that discomfort. They know that every drop of sweat, every ounce of effort they put in during those tough training sessions is what prepares them to compete at the highest level. This same principle applies to every area of life. If you want to be successful in your career, you have to push yourself to work harder than others. You can't settle for just doing the job. You have to look for ways to improve, to do things better, to challenge yourself, to learn new things. That's what separates those who succeed from those who stay stuck. It's not just about talent or skill. It's about having the courage to step into the unknown, to take risks, and to be willing to fail and learn from those failures. It's about embracing the discomfort of doing things you've never done before and getting better with each attempt. In your personal life, embracing discomfort means confronting your fears. It means going after the things that scare you the most. It means having tough conversations when you'd rather avoid them, making tough decisions when you'd rather put them off, and facing your weaknesses head on instead of pretending they don't exist. It means making sacrifices for the things you want, whether it's your time, your energy, or your comfort. It's easy to stay in your bubble, in the place where everything feels safe, but growth doesn't happen in that bubble. It happens when you venture out, when you take that first step into the unknown. Sometimes the discomfort will come in the form of other people challenging you. They might criticize you, doubt you, or try to pull you back into the safety of their own comfort zones. But that's part of the process too. People are afraid of change because they're afraid of being uncomfortable themselves. When you start to change, to grow, to push beyond what's comfortable, it challenges them. And some people can't handle that, but that's not your problem. That's their fear. You can't let the opinions of others dictate how far you're willing to go. You have to be willing to move forward, even when others don't understand it, even when they tell you it's too hard, too risky, or too uncomfortable. Their doubts are a reflection of their own limitations, not yours. At some point, you have to stop listening to the voice that tells you to play it safe. You have to stop settling for the status quo. Playing it safe might feel good in the moment, but it's a trap. It's the voice that tells you to stay in the job that doesn't fulfill you, to stay in the relationship that drains you, to keep living in the place that limits you. Playing it safe might keep you comfortable, but it won't help you reach your full potential. The greatest success stories are never about people who played it safe. They're about people who took risks, faced their fears, and embraced the discomfort of growth. The truth is, if you want to achieve something truly great, you're going to have to sacrifice comfort. That doesn't mean it's easy, but it does mean it's worth it. The discomfort you feel as you push yourself to grow is temporary. The results you get from that growth will last a lifetime, and the person you become in the process, stronger, more confident, more capable, is the ultimate reward. So the next time you feel discomfort creeping in, don't run from it. Don't shy away from it. Lean into it. Embrace it. Understand that it's not something to fear. It's a sign that you're on the right path. It's a signal that you're growing, that you're becoming better, and that you're one step closer to becoming the person you were always meant to be. Taking responsibility for your life, your actions, and your future is one of the most powerful decisions you can make. It's easy to point fingers, to blame external circumstances, or to make excuses for why things aren't going the way you want them to. But the truth is, you are the one who has control over your life. The moment you take full responsibility for your actions and your outcomes, you step into your power. You stop being a victim of your circumstances and start being the architect of your destiny. When you take responsibility, you stop waiting for things to change on their own. You stop hoping for someone else to fix your problems or for life to get easier. You realize that no one else is coming to save you. If you want change, you have to create it. It starts with you, with your decisions, with how you choose to respond to the situations and challenges you face. Taking responsibility means acknowledging that the choices you've made up until this point have led you to where you are today. Whether you're in a place of success or struggle, it's the result of the decisions you've made. And if you want a different outcome, you need to make different choices moving forward. Too many people live their lives waiting for circumstances to change before they take action. They think that if the right opportunity comes along, or if they have the right amount of money, or if they can just get past this one obstacle, then they'll finally be able to take control. But that's not how it works. The opportunity you've been waiting for is already here. The key to unlocking it lies in taking responsibility for where you are right now and choosing to do something about it. This doesn't mean that every challenge you face is entirely your fault. Life is full of uncontrollable circumstances, and there are things that will happen to you that are out of your hands. But taking responsibility means recognizing that no matter what happens, you have the power to control how you respond. You have the power to decide what you do with the situation. You have the ability to find solutions, to change your perspective, and to make adjustments in your act. It's not about avoiding difficulties or pretending they don't exist. It's about owning the way you choose to handle them. When you blame others for your problems, you're giving away your power. You're saying that someone else or something else is responsible for your happiness, your success, or your well-being. When you say, if only my boss were more understanding, or if only I had a better upbringing, or if only I had more resources, you're giving away the ability to change your situation. You're relying on external factors to determine your future. And that's a dangerous place to be. The moment you take responsibility, you take back control. You realize that you are in the driver's seat of your life and that no one else can steer it for you. Taking responsibility also means confronting the truth. It means looking at yourself honestly and acknowledging where you've fallen short. We all have flaws, weaknesses, and areas where we can improve. It's easy to ignore them or pretend they don't exist, but that only keeps you stuck. When you take responsibility, you don't make excuses, you don't blame others, and you don't deny the truth. You face it head on. You take ownership of the mistakes you've made and you learn from them. You realize that failure is not something to fear or avoid, but something to embrace as a learning opportunity. The more you take responsibility for your mistakes, the more you grow. It's important to recognize that taking responsibility doesn't mean carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders or feeling like everything that goes wrong is entirely your fault. It's about recognizing your power to change, grow, and improve your situation. It's about acknowledging that while you can't control everything, you can control how you respond, how you learn, and how you move forward. The more you own your actions, the more empowered you become. You stop being a passive observer in your own life, and you start being an active participant, making decisions and taking actions that align with the person you want to become. When you take responsibility for your actions, you also take responsibility for your future. You stop waiting for the perfect moment or the perfect circumstances to start working toward your goals. You stop telling yourself that you'll begin tomorrow or when things settle down or when you feel more prepared. You realize that the time to act is now. You understand that the small decisions you make today will determine where you are tomorrow. Every choice you make is shaping your future, whether you're aware of it or not. This means that your future success or failure is not in the hands of anyone else. It's not dependent on the economy, the job market, or the actions of other people. It's dependent on what you decide to do with the present moment. It's about taking responsibility for your actions, your decisions, and your mindset. It's about recognizing that every small step you take, every action you take, is leading you toward the person you want to be. Taking responsibility also means recognizing the power of your thoughts. Your thoughts shape your actions, and your actions shape your reality. If you constantly tell yourself that you can't do something or that you're not good enough, your actions will reflect that. But if you take responsibility for your mindset, you can choose to believe in yourself, in your potential, and in your ability to create the life you want. Your mind is one of your most powerful tools, and when you take responsibility for it, you can shape your destiny. Taking responsibility is a decision. It's a commitment to stop waiting for things to change and to start making changes yourself. It's about owning the present moment and understanding that you have the power to create your future. It's about looking at your life and saying, I am in control, my success is up to me, my actions will determine where I end up. And once you make that decision, you take the first step toward creating the life you've always wanted. Consistency is often the unsung hero of success. In a world where we're conditioned to want instant gratification, it's easy to overlook the quiet power of showing up every day, doing the small things that add up to something greater over time. Success isn't about having one big breakthrough or a single stroke of genius. It's about putting in the work day after day, even when you don't feel like it. It's the accumulation of small efforts that leads to monumental transformation. The process might feel slow, but trust that each effort is building towards something greater. In the beginning, consistency feels like a grind. You don't see immediate results, and it's easy to become discouraged. You might put in hours of effort and not see the outcome you were hoping for. But what separates those who succeed from those who give up is their ability to keep going, even when the rewards don't show up right away. The truth is, the results you're working towards may not happen overnight, but by committing to small, consistent actions, you're stacking up the steps necessary to reach your goals. Think about physical fitness, for example. People often want to get in shape quickly, and they go all in with extreme workouts and drastic diets. They push their bodies to the limit for a week, but when they don't see a dramatic transformation, they give up. But true fitness doesn't come from a few intense workouts. It comes from showing up every day and doing the work consistently. It's about gradually building strength and endurance over time, one workout at a time. It's the steady progress that compounds and leads to real lasting change. The same principle applies to any area of life. The key to long-term success is not the big sporadic bursts of effort, but the steady, consistent commitment to the process. Consistency also requires patience. We live in a world where we want things fast, where we can get information at the touch of a button, where we can order anything and have it delivered to our doorstep within hours. But when it comes to building something meaningful, the process doesn't work that way. It's easy to get frustrated when progress doesn't come immediately, but the most successful people are the ones who understand that success is built on years of consistent effort. They know that the true value of what they're working toward comes not in the immediate results, but in the long-term growth that consistency fosters. It's important to understand that consistency is about more than just doing the same thing over and over again. It's about doing the right thing over and over again. It's about being intentional with your actions and focusing on the tasks that truly matter. You can't expect to make progress if you're consistently putting your energy into the wrong things. Focus is a key component of consistency. It's about making a plan, setting clear goals, and staying focused on the actions that are going to move you forward. Without focus, consistency loses its power, but with focus, each action you take is a step closer to achieving the life you desire. Consistency also requires discipline. It's easy to stay motivated when things are going well, but what about when you hit a rough patch? What about when you're tired or things aren't working out the way you expected? That's when your discipline kicks in. It's about showing up even when you don't feel like it. It's about sticking to your commitments even when the going gets tough. When you rely solely on motivation, it's easy to fall off track because motivation comes and goes, but discipline allows you to keep going even when your motivation is nowhere to be found. It's the backbone of success. It's what keeps you moving forward when everything else might tell you to quit. One of the challenges of consistency is overcoming the temptation to compare yourself to others. In today's world, we're constantly bombarded with images of other people's success. On social media, in the news, among our peers, it's easy to look at someone else's achievements and feel like you're not doing enough, like you're falling behind. But here's the truth. Everyone has their own timeline. Your journey is not the same as anyone else's, and the fact that someone else is moving at a faster pace doesn't mean you're failing. It just means that they are on a different path. The key is to stay focused on your own journey, to trust the process, and to commit to the small, consistent steps that will get you where you want to go. Success isn't a race, it's a marathon. And the only way to win that marathon is to stay consistent and trust that your efforts will pay off. Another important aspect of consistency is the ability to adjust and adapt along the way. Consistency doesn't mean rigidly sticking to a plan that isn't working. It means continuing to put in the effort while being willing to make changes as necessary. Life is unpredictable and things don't always go according to plan. But when you're committed to consistency, you don't abandon your goals when things go off course. Instead, you find a way to adjust, adapt, and keep moving forward. You keep showing up, even when the path isn't clear. The ability to pivot and adjust is just as important as showing up every day. It's the balance between persistence and flexibility that allows you to stay consistent and continue making progress, even in the face of challenges. Consistency also involves a mindset shift. It's about seeing the process as part of the journey, not just a means to an end. When you're consistent, you're not just focused on the outcome, you're focused on the growth that happens along the way. Every day you're getting better. Every day you're learning something new. Every day you're building resilience and mental toughness. The process of showing up day after day, no matter how small the steps, is what builds the foundation for success. It's about committing to improvement, not perfection. It's about understanding that every effort, no matter how small, is a step in the right direction. And as you continue to show up, you'll start to notice the compound effect. At first, your efforts may seem insignificant. You might feel like you're not getting anywhere, but over time, the results will start to build. Your consistency will pay off in ways you couldn't have predicted. The small actions you take every day will eventually lead to big results. It's the compound effect of consistency that turns ordinary people into extraordinary achievers. So don't be discouraged by slow progress or setbacks. Don't be tempted to abandon your efforts when the going gets tough. Stay consistent. Keep putting in the work day after day and trust that every small step is leading you toward the success you're working for. The power of consistency is unstoppable. It's the force that will turn your dreams into reality one day at a time.